They want to grow our economy in a way that benefits all, not just a few like me on top. That's the vision of America I've been consistently writing about for 55 years. Now, everybody sees things different, and I respect your choice as a fellow citizen. But like you, I've only got one vote, and it's one of the most precious possessions that I have. That's why, come November 5th, I'll be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Thanks for listening.
Let's bring in Washington Bureau Chief of the USA Today, Susan Page, also senior political columnist for Politico, Jonathan Martin, and New York Times investigative reporter Michael Schmidt. Hey, J. Mart, talk about the Springsteen endorsement and how the Harris campaign likely wants to use that.
Well, I think they obviously want to use it with people who are in the political center, people who are, living in a handful of battleground states, and frankly, probably white folks who are Springsteen fans, Springsteen admirers, Springsteen devotees, who, are going to be persuaded by his rhetoric. Also, I think importantly, Joe, apolitical people, and the industry, they're called low information voters, the kind of people who are not engaged in this election, haven't really tuned in at all, except for kind of some vague concept that we have an election. And you get a celebrity like that in front of them making an impassioned case like Springsteen did, and maybe you can reach a few folks who had largely checked out from politics or never even checked into politics in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Taylor Swift, a Pennsylvania native, and of course, a lot of people mocking that until you find out that 500, 600,000 people probably by the end
registered
to vote, and will most likely, at her urging, a good number of those possibly go out and vote. And here's Springsteen. And with Springsteen, it may be something different. There are a lot of people, as we talked about last hour, a lot of people that voted for Donald Trump in 2016 that don't like the guy at all. We hear it over and over again. I hate him.
Right.
He's obnoxious. I don't know if I'm going to vote for him or not. But you take Wisconsin. Remember Ron Johnson caught on camera trying to tell the person interviewing him, hey, Trump lost because he got 56,000 less votes.
Yes.
Less votes than every other Republican that ran in the state of Wisconsin. It was undervotes, people that couldn't stomach voting for him. That was in 2020. I wonder if this Springsteen ad or the Springsteen endorsement helps move some of those people actually to vote for Harris.
Yeah, it's all about creating that permission structure for people who didn't like the Clintons and maybe voted for Trump in 2016 because they couldn't abide Hillary. And maybe, Joe, they reluctantly voted for Biden in 2020 to stop COVID and get Trump out of office. But they're just not sure that they can get there with Kamala Harris. This is a way of getting Trump back front and center and saying that, look, you're voting against Trump here. And Kamala Harris effectively is the vehicle to block Trump's return. And if you don't like Trump, you don't want him back in your living room for 4 years, well, there's one way to do that, and that's to make Kamala Harris the president. And by the way, Joe, those votes count just the same as an enthusiastic vote for Kamala Harris. It doesn't matter if you're voting largely against Trump. As long as you pull that lever for Harris Walz, it counts just the same. And she, by the way, is depending upon those people who don't have a lot of confidence in her or are uneasy about her, but just cannot stomach the thought of Donald Trump as president again.
The so-called double haters. And Liz Cheney actually went up to Wisconsin yesterday with Kamala Harris. And take a look at what she had to say.
I know that our security and our freedom depend upon a world in which America, with our allies, leads. And above all else, I know that the most conservative of conservative values is fidelity to our Constitution. I tell you, I have never voted for a Democrat, but this year I am proudly casting my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris. Donald Trump was willing to sacrifice our capital to allow law enforcement officers to be beaten and brutalized in his name and to violate the law and the Constitution in order to seize power for himself. I don't care if you are a Democrat or a Republican or an independent. That is depravity, and we must never become numb to it. Any person who would do these things can never be trusted with power again. We must defeat Donald Trump on November 5th. Our institutions also held because of Vice President Mike Pence, who refused to violate his oath to the Constitution. And that is why Mike Pence is not Donald Trump's running mate today. Instead, J.D. Vance is on the ticket. Vance has said, that's true. I know that President Harris will be able to unite this nation. I know that she will be a president who will defend the rule of law. And I know that she will be a president who can inspire all of our children, and if I might say so, especially our little girls. To do great things.
But I say all that to say every time that I've come here recently, one of the conversations that we have, all of us together, is how much we love our country, and that really is the binding factor in us all being together and taking the time to be together to really just renew and remind everyone of what is at stake, but born out of love that we have this fight. And I want to thank you, Liz Cheney, for reminding us that regardless of party affiliation, is a factor that binds us all. And so I thank you for your support and your leadership and your courage.
Well, Liz Cheney lost for Congress. She was terrible. Liz Cheney is a stupid war hawk. All she wants to do is shoot missiles at people. I really think it hurts. I think, frankly, if Kamala, I think they hurt each other. I think they're so bad, both of them.
Stupid. That's what he said. Stupid. Did you say? What did you say about Taylor Swift? I hate Taylor Swift.
I hate all capital letters. I hate Taylor Swift.
He's like a third grader out on the campaign. It's really unbelievable. So Susan Page, very strong here. I have never voted for a Democrat, but this year I am voting for Kamala Harris. And, you know, Liz Cheney has good company. Her father, Vice President Dick Cheney. You have Mike Pence, who's not voting for Donald Trump. Alberto Gonzales, Ken Edelman, Donald Trump's own Secretary of Defense, his own Secretary of States, his own national security advisors. The list goes on and on. Hundreds of Republicans who worked in 43 and 41's administrations, who worked in Ronald Reagan's administrations, and who worked in Donald Trump's administrations, all not voting for the Republican nominee. That is, talking about damning, that's about as damning as it gets.
Well, talk about courage. We shouldn't forget what Liz Cheney gave up for her break with Donald Trump. There was a time when we thought she might be a future Speaker of the House, and now she couldn't even win re-election in one of the most Republican states in the country. The thing that strikes me, Joe, about the list of Republicans you just named, none of them are in office now. Tell me the Republicans in office now who are willing to stand up to Donald Trump. Some of them endorse Trump. Some of them just keep their mouths shut. But the list, I'm struggling to think of a single ranking Republican who has stood up to Trump. But Liz Cheney did. And now she's at a Democratic rally. She's being cheered. Mike Pence is being cheered. I mean, it's really quite a remarkable turn of events. But this did not come free for Liz Cheney. You know, one of the things, these testimonials testimonials that Kamala Harris got yesterday from Liz Cheney to Bruce Springsteen. Neither of them speaking to the Democratic base, of course. Both of them speaking to different groups that Kamala Harris will need if she's going to break this really tied-up election in 30 days and win it, Joe.
Morning Joe Weekend. We'll be right back.
Target Circle Week, 1 week.
Sunday the 6th.
Target
Big
Circle Week,
Sunday the
1
6th.
week.
Big
Wow.
deal.
It's Target Circle Week.
Get ready for 7 days of big deals.
That's right, Penn. What a big week.
Huge week. Starting October 6th.
I'm interested in trying these new weight loss shots, but I need it to be more affordable because my insurance doesn't cover it. I'm not sure which online provider to trust, and I want to ask a doctor a lot of questions.
The secret's out. At Henry Meds, our knowledgeable providers demystify compounded semaglutide, the same active ingredient in brand name weight management meds. If you're eligible for treatment, your medication will be shipped to your door for just $297 a month. You can save thousands by using Henry Meds for weight management medication.
The Oracle Jet sets the new standard in automation, performance and speed. Powered by the ThermoJet heating system, it's ready in seconds. Select from cafe favourites, including refreshing new cold coffees. Auto grind, dose and tamp for a well-balanced extraction. And automatically texture milk for silky smooth microfoam. It's the benchmark redefined from Breville.
With Chime, I can get paid when I want. Why do we accept waiting 2 weeks for payday? I work hard every day, but I don't get paid every day. Because of Chime, I don't have to wait to get paid anymore. With my pay, I can get up to $500 of my pay on my schedule. There's no interest, no credit checks, no mandatory fees. I love being in control of my money, and for the first time, I can control my payday. And you can too. And that's why I Chime. Join me at chime.com and get paid when you say.
This is how AG1 works to upgrade your health routine by combining many quality ingredients into something powerfully simple. It's time to get foundational nutrition at drinkag1.com.
The future of cool, comfortable sleep is here. Introducing the new Sleep Number Climate Cool Smart Bed, the only smart bed in the world that actively cools and effortlessly adjusts to both of you. Sleep up to 15 degrees cooler on each side. It actively cools by drawing warm air away from your body to keep you cool and comfortable throughout the night. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Visit a Sleep Number store near you.
I'm Anya's indecision. I thought we were good. Like with home projects, I used to make sure she got so twisted around, she wasn't even sure where to start. But Thumbtack changed her. With all the plans and guides and reminders, Anya's getting stuff done. And I'm getting ghosted.
Indecision doesn't live here. You do. Take care of your home with Thumbtack. Download the app today.
I'm starting to notice a trend where you expect to disappoint people. And when you do a good job, you never let yourself enjoy it or accept any praise.
I guess that's true. It just feels safer or easier somehow if I expect the worst.
I know it's hard right now, but the end of this chapter is the beginning of a new one. An opportunity for you to do what you like.
Every election